In our modern age, where social media platforms flash the highlights of others' lives before our eyes every day, the act of comparison has become an almost automatic response. It's easy to glance at a colleague's achievement, a friend's holiday, or even a stranger's physique and instantly measure it against our own circumstances. This subtle act, often performed without a second thought, has intertwined itself deeply within our daily routines. But have we ever paused to reflect on the implications of this constant evaluation? What does it mean for our mental well-being, our happiness, and our overall life satisfaction? As we delve into this topic, we'll discover the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers who, despite living in a world vastly different from ours, shared profound insights on the dangers of comparison and how to navigate a life free from its chains. Join us as we explore the Stoic perspective on the destructive power of comparison. Comparison, at its core, is a natural human instinct. From our earliest days, we gauge our surroundings, weighing one thing against another as a means of understanding our environment. Psychologically, this instinct serves to help us create benchmarks. We assess risks, determine our standing within a group, and set aspirational goals based on what we observe in others. It's not inherently malevolent. In fact, comparison can act as a motivational compass, guiding us towards betterment and growth. However, there's a dark side to this instinct. In an age where social media showcases idealized versions of reality and society perpetually highlights success stories, our benchmarks for comparison have dramatically shifted. The once innocuous act of evaluation can transform into a destructive habit, leading to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and profound dissatisfaction with our own journey. The tool that once motivated us can easily become a chain that binds us, sapping joy and contentment from our lives. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human behavior, were keenly aware of this pitfall. Before we delve into their perspective, it's crucial to recognize that the act of comparison, while natural, is a double-edged sword. One edge can inspire and drive us, while the other can cut deeply, leading to despair and a diminished sense of self-worth. The Stoic philosophy, rooted in the teachings of figures like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, places immense value on self-awareness, control over one's reactions, and living in accordance with nature. Stoicism emphasizes the internal locus of control, where individuals are encouraged to focus on what they can influence, namely their own judgments, intentions, and actions, and to remain indifferent to what lies beyond their control. In this context, comparison, especially when it veers towards envy or feelings of inferiority, is an unnecessary distraction. For Stoics, the yardstick for success isn't the achievements or possessions of others, but rather one's own adherence to virtue. They believe that each person has a unique journey molded by fate or providence, and comparing one's path to another's is like comparing the course of two different rivers. Each has its own origin, terrain, and destination. Seneca once said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." This sentiment rings particularly true for comparison. In the Stoic view, obsessing over another's achievements is a form of self-inflicted mental torment. It disrupts our internal peace and takes our eyes off the primary objective, virtuous living. To Stoics, the act of comparison, when tainted with jealousy or discontent, is a deviation from the true path of focusing on one's own self-improvement and inner harmony. The consequences of comparison, a Stoic view. Within the framework of Stoicism, the act of comparison, particularly when it leans towards envy or a sense of inferiority, is seen as a significant source of disturbance to one's tranquility. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized the importance of focusing on oneself and one's own moral progress. Constantly looking at others and wishing for their successes or possessions leads to a restless spirit, never content, always wanting. This perpetual state of wanting is the antithesis of Stoic contentment, distorted reality, and dissatisfaction. Seneca pointed out that while we often envy the successes of others, we rarely see their struggles, fears, or the sacrifices they've made. By comparing our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, we develop a skewed perception of reality, leading to unwarranted dissatisfaction with our own life. External locus of control. One of the core Stoic principles is focusing on what we can control. our actions, intentions, and reactions. When engrossed in comparison, we shift our focus to externalities, which are often beyond our influence. This misplaced attention can lead to feelings of helplessness and a loss of personal agency. Detriment to virtuous living. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good. Constant comparison distracts us from this pursuit. Instead of concentrating on personal growth and moral integrity, we find ourselves chasing external validations and superficial markers of success. Mental unrest and loss of peace. Epictetus often spoke about the importance of maintaining a tranquil mind. He believed that disturbances like anger, envy, or sadness stem from our judgments and desires. The act of comparing oneself incessantly with others fosters these negative emotions and disrupts our mental peace. The bedrock of Stoic philosophy is the idea that tranquility, happiness, and virtue come from within. This section will delve into how Stoicism promotes the ideas of self-reliance and internal validation, making them essential tools in combating the pitfalls of comparison. The dichotomy of control. At the heart of Stoic teachings lies the understanding that some things are within our control, while others are not. Epictetus, in his Enchiridion, stresses that our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions are up to us, while external events and people's opinions are not. Recognizing and embracing this dichotomy fosters self-reliance, since it teaches us to derive contentment from our own actions and judgments rather than seeking validation externally. Value of inner virtue. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius believe that true value lies in one's character and virtue. When we center our self-worth on internal virtues rather than external achievements or possessions, we reduce the need to compare ourselves with others. This shift in perspective is empowering, placing the reins of self-esteem in our own hands. Living according to nature. Stoicism teaches that living in harmony with nature, or more precisely, our true nature as rational beings, is the key to a good life. This means understanding our potential, accepting our limitations, and striving for personal growth. By doing so, we find fulfillment in our own journey rather than feeling inferior or superior to others based on fleeting external metrics. Mindfulness and reflection. Stoic practices, such as journaling and meditative reflection, focus on self-awareness. By regularly examining our actions, intentions, and feelings, we develop a robust sense of self. This intimate knowledge of oneself nurtures a strong internal validation system, reducing the need for external comparison. Eudaimonia. Stoicism aims for eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or fulfilled life. This state is achieved not by comparing oneself to others, but by living in alignment with one's principles and making the most of one's own capacities. It's a journey inward, focusing on self-improvement and personal contentment. In essence, Stoicism encourages a deep-seated self-reliance. By turning our focus inward, valuing our virtues, and understanding our nature, we build a solid foundation of self-worth. This internal strength acts as a shield, protecting us from the turbulence of constant comparison and offering a more fulfilling, contented life. The benefits of letting go of comparison. Stoic philosophy is grounded in the idea of living a life in harmony with nature and our own rationality. As we look deeply into Stoic teachings, we discover that relinquishing the habit of comparison can pave the way for numerous personal benefits. Here's a deep dive into these advantages. Inner peace and contentment. By stopping the cycle of comparison, we free ourselves from the imagined deficiencies and instead find peace within our own path. This leads to a profound sense of contentment, where we are at ease with ourselves, irrespective of external metrics. Authenticity and self-awareness. Relinquishing comparison encourages us to align more closely with our authentic selves. We become more attuned to our desires, values, and aspirations, rather than being swayed by societal expectations or trends. This heightened self-awareness promotes a genuine life, where choices reflect personal truths rather than external pressures. Enhanced personal growth. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that each of us has our own journey. Without the distraction of comparison, we can focus on our personal growth, celebrating small victories, and learning from setbacks. This unobstructed view of self allows for a more holistic and consistent path of self-improvement. Freedom from envy. Envy, according to Stoics, is a waste of energy and a deviation from virtuous living. By letting go of comparison, we naturally free ourselves from the shackles of envy, leading to more joy in others' successes and a deeper sense of camaraderie. Increased resilience. Stoicism teaches resilience in the face of external adversities. When we are not weighed down by comparison, we become more resilient to external judgments, criticisms, and setbacks. We derive strength from our internal locus of control and can navigate challenges with a clearer, steadier mind. Joy in the present. Epictetus often emphasized the importance of focusing on the present moment. By avoiding comparison, which often pertains to past achievements or future aspirations, we can find joy in the present, cherishing each moment for its inherent worth. A life of gratitude. Without the overshadowing cloud of comparison, we develop a deeper appreciation for what we have. Recognizing and cherishing our blessings, whether they are relationships, achievements, or simple pleasures, fills our lives with gratitude. This focus on abundance, rather than lack, elevates our overall life satisfaction. Life is not a race against others, but a personal journey of discovery and growth. Letting go of comparison not only alleviates many mental burdens, but also ushers in a multitude of enriching benefits, from inner peace to a more profound appreciation of life's journey. It's a shift from looking outward for validation to finding it within, a change that promises a more fulfilling, serene, and joyous life. Comparison, while seemingly a natural part of our human psyche, has the deceptive power to undermine our sense of self-worth and direction. Too often, we allow it to dictate our actions, self-perception, and happiness, losing sight of our own unique journey in the shadow of others. But the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a refreshing, enlightening perspective, a life free from the chains of relentless comparison. The Stoics, with their profound emphasis on internal virtues and personal integrity, invite us to pivot from external benchmarks to our inner compass. By doing so, not only do we reclaim our mental peace and self-contentment, but we also unlock a more authentic, fulfilling life, unfettered by the fleeting metrics of societal standards. To those of you watching, consider this. Every time you find yourself making a comparison, recall the Stoic ideals of self-reliance and the value of one's own journey. Challenge yourself to apply these Stoic strategies. In doing so, you may discover a transformation not just in how you view yourself, but in how you navigate the world around you. Remember, the path to true contentment and peace lies not in how we stack up against others, but in understanding and embracing our unique journey with all its challenges and triumphs. Embrace your path, for it's the only one that truly belongs to you.